What I'm going to show you now is graphing of linear equations in two variables using slope-intercept equation and then later standard form. Now, when you take standard form and solve for the letter y, you end up with an equation like this. And some interesting thing happens. The numerical coefficient of the x here, we have it designated as the letter m. That's the slope. And then the letter b, whatever's in that position, happens to be the y-intercept. So using slope-intercept form, it's rather easy to graph. Now if you have graph paper, it comes out much nicer, but this is to give you an idea of what you need to do. So step one is to look at what the y-intercept is. And that would be what would be in the B position. And it's a positive 1. So there on our graph, at positive 1, you put a dot. That's where the line is going to go through the y-axis. That's why it's called the y-intercept. And if you look at your slope, and remember every number is over 1, and slope is y units over x units, or rise over run. So again, develop your technique. There's different ways to do it, but I suggest you start with the run, which is your x units, and it's 1 positive, so you go over 1. And then the rise is 2, so from this position you go up 2, and then you carefully sketch your line. And this then is the graph of this particular equation in slope-intercept. So the recipe is find the y-intercept, plot it on your graph, then from the y-intercept you plot your slope. Doing run first. If it's positive, you go to the right. If it's negative, you go to the left. And then you do your rise. That gives you your second dot, and then with 2 dots, you make your line. Now using MATLAB, you're going to pick a graphing line, click it there, go over and then up to, click it there, and then the line will form. Now for the second one, again, very same technique. You plot your y-intercept, which is a negative 1. Now your slope is 1 over 3. So your run now is 3. So 1, 2, 3. And rise is 1. So from this position you go up 1. There's your 2 dots. And there's your graph. Now notice both this one and this one were positive slope. It started low, and as you went to the right, the line went up. In this one, your y-intercept is a positive 2. So you put a dot at positive 2. Now your slope is a negative 3/2. So from this point, to do the negative run, you're going to go 2 to the left. And then now up 3. And then that would be your line. And since we see it's starting high, as you go to the right, it goes down, that indicates negative slope. So there's a quick review of using slope-intercept form to graph equations. Now, when we are using standard form, what I'm suggesting is that you make a special t-chart, which I'm calling the X and Y intercept t-chart. And that's what this is. So if you have an equation, let's say 3x plus 2y equals 6, which is in standard form, what you're going to do is replace the x with the 0. This gives you 3 times 0. This makes this term a 0. And now you solve for the y, which will be 3. And if y is 0, 2 times 0 is 0. You're going to divide both sides now by 3 and get 2. So again, you have to be careful of the signs, check your work, but using this X and Y t-chart, and in some cases they're going to ask you to find the intercepts. Remember, this is in the form of 0, comma b, which is your y-intercept standard form, and a, comma 0, which is the standard form for the x-intercept. So 0, 3 is 1, 2, 3. That's your y-intercept. 2, 0 is your x-intercept. And then there's the line. So in review, these are 2 common ways to solve first the equation in slope-intercept form and in standard form. For standard form, we use the x and y-intercept t-chart. We get the y-intercept, the x-intercept, and make our line. For this one, we plot the b and then the slope from that particular point. Now there's 2 other equations that I'll show you quickly. And it's one that's in the form of y equals b and x equals a. These are special cases of this formula here. And this one is the formula for a horizontal line. So if you have the equation y equals 2, that's simply going to be a line that goes through the y-intercept, which is b, at point 2. And for this one, x equals a, like x equals -3. It is a vertical line now going through the x-intercept at whatever point is there. In this case, it's -3. And as a little quick review, the slope of this line we said was 0. And the slope of this line is undefined. Because when you worked it out, it would be like 3 over 0. Anything over 0 is undefined. And this one might have been 0 over 2. So any time 0 is divided by any real number other than 0, it is 0. Okay, I wanted to keep this short as a quick review.